Hey everyone, it's November 26, 2016. I am still in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I'm at Lizard BJJ with Professor Francisco. Thank you for having me and for doing this interview.
Welcome.
So, if I remember right, your nickname is Chico
Lizard, Lagarto.
Yeah. So, how do you get the nickname the Lizard?
Because in Brazil, Lagarto, when I was training at the Luis Paulo club, my master in Rio, when I was in bad situation training with the guys smashed me.
Yeah.
And I start to make a face like a lizard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the guys start to laughing, and the guys lose the power, and they reverse the training, right? And the guys start to laughing, and they give me a chance to choke them, sweep, and a lot of different options, right? And I make a lizard face like that, and the guys start to laugh in the training, and the guys start to call me, oh, Lagarto, Lagarto. Lagarto is lizard in English.
I think that's a
Lagarto
cool,
is Portuguese.
that's a cool technique. I think I might have to try that out sometime.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's fun too.
So, yeah, how about you tell us about your background in martial arts?
So I started in 1989 with Luis Paulo, my master, in Rio de Janeiro, and I moved to Canada, and I started to teach here 4 years ago, and the club started to grow, and you have good achievements like lots of medals the students reach in Canada. So we have a good environment here, have a good BJJ family. Our philosophy is be humble, be respectful, and don't hurt your partner. Without your partner, you don't have a training. So always be careful with your partner, and you can train hard, prepare yourself for a championship, prepare yourself for self-defense. Where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has two parts. So there are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu sports that is for specific for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition, and there is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu self-defense that you can use in self-defense in street, if just in case that you need to use a defense and protect yourself from bad things, bad people in the street, right?
Okay.
So yeah.
So. How did you? How do you get into starting jiu-jitsu? Was it like you wanted to do the sport, or was it?
Actually, my friend took me to Luis Paulo gym, and in Rio de Janeiro started lots of challenges between different martial arts. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu against luta livre, karate, taekwondo, and the guys start to challenge each other, and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu start to become more popular, and a lot of guys start to use the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for self-defense in street, and that's called my attention, and okay, I want to learn this martial arts that looks like it's very efficient, and helps me to be in shape, good for health, and keep my body health as well, and my mind. So that's why and when I started to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I fell in love, and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is awesome because it's a chess body that you use your mind, all parts of your body, and keep your body healthy, and make friends, build a good relationship between you and the students and the community as well, and you feeling more confident. You don't need to use the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the street to prove anything. So you don't need to prove that you are good in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Just be confident and be a good person.
Yeah, that's a big key that I like to tell my friends about getting their kids into martial arts, or just friends in general just to get in martial arts. It's not just a combat sport or a self-defense. It's great for fitness, but also confidence.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of puzzle solving going on here, right?
Yeah.
And when you are able to get these techniques down and say, hey, you know, I was able to at least defend against that higher ranked belt that whole match, you know, you feel good about yourself because you feel like you've accomplished something. So confidence I find is a big key out there.
Yeah, and another thing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a combination that as you have more technique, you use less strength, right? Mm-hmm. So of course that you need to have a minimal strength and the power, but as you train more technique, you use less strength. Mm-hmm. You can see good examples like Royce Gracie that he got 3 times UFC. He fought against big guys and he's very skinny, and he overcome with them and he beats them and he prove that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is so efficient, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the point.
Yeah.
That give for bowling too. I teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for kids class here, and the hours I talk about bullying.
Oh, bullying, yeah.
I always tell the kids that don't fight, don't use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for bad things. So if you suffer any bullying, to talk to the principal, mm-hmm. talk to your father or mom, but I always avoid to fight. Mm-hmm. Just in last case, you have to use the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for dominate the person and the call for help.
Yeah,
right?
once they've already attacked.
Yeah. I used this in Brazil. I remember in Rio de Janeiro, guys rob people and I run around behind the guys and I choke the guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Here in Co-op in Crawford, I was working there in the grocery department, and the guy got in the Co-op and started breaking all the stuff in the shelf. Okay. And my supervisor started to call for help, and I running, and when I meet the guy, and I ask, "Oh, what are you doing, guy?" And he punched me in my face, but I stepped back a little bit, and he broke my glass, and I go to the double leg, and they put him down, and he turned, and he gives the back to me, and I see a big filet mignon on his back, right? And oh man, don't give your back to me. And I grab, put the hooks inside, and they put the choke, and mobilize him until the police arrived. Yeah. So I have a picture in Facebook. The guys from the meat department, the guys took a picture and
Oh, really?
Yeah. I use for self-defense, not for to be proud of me. No. Just for, that's important.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. In Brazil, the same thing. I catch 2 guys too. The guy, Luis Paulo, catch one guy that broke his window of the car, and the guy was stealing the radio. And when the guy took the radio and he come out, he go and choke and put the guy for sleep and call the police. Oh, there is a guy, he is sleeping, so can you come here to pick him up? So, but it's not for bad things, right? That's important. Yeah. It's a pleasure to have you here. And
thank you.
Our friendship will be ours keep forever, for sure, Rod.
Yeah, it's well, thank you for once. That's it's awesome to hear that. And I agree. Like the bonds you form on the mats are much deeper than just a drinking buddy on the weekend. Yeah. Because I mean, we hear like I remember hearing it described as like, you know, within minutes of meeting someone on the mats, you know, you're kind of trusting them to, you know, with your body to not hurt it, you know, exactly. Do things, you know, but not hurt it in a way that would be malicious or you know, bad going on. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you stayed under the same club the whole time you were in Brazil?
Brazil, yeah. Luis Paulo and the Fit is a Fabrício international team. Okay. That's you have today a 6 times old champion, Brian, that he lives in Minnesota. Okay. I think it's a good idea if you can go there. He's 56 years old, 6 times old champion IBJJF, and he lives there, and he's from our team too. Nice guy. I met him in Montreal last April. So, and the hours I was under Luis Paulo and Fabrício.
And then you moved here, you said 4 years ago?
I moved here 6 years ago.
6 years ago,
Yeah.
okay. And so when did you open up your own club here?
Actually, I started teaching Aikido gym.
Okay.
The guys invited me to teach Aikido, and then the team start to grow, and you move to Silver Spring,
Okay.
in Northwest, and start to teach my own club, and the team start to grow up again, growing, and you move to here, and actually you are looking for a bigger place now because it's big here in the. You saw Tuesday, right?
It gets pretty packed in here.
Very packed,
Which is great to see, like, you know, the community growing and new people coming in. I was going to ask you about that because I see a lot of younger students. Like, I know there's some schools around the area. Do you find your positioning here helps get the people you have, like so many people through the door, or do you think it's just because it's the new, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the big thing right now everyone wants to do?
I think it's both, yeah. Mouth to mouth, and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with the UFC promote a lot Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, And I think every day, everyone today needs to have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a self-defense martial art, right? Because today, if you know just stand and strike, I think you can't survive, because if the guy know ground and take you down, you can be in very trouble position, right? So that's very important, the guy balance. That's why you have here kickboxing every Monday, and just once a week to the guys to learn how kick, how punch, and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is our focus, and training lots of ground and feeling confident for day by day, right?
Yeah. And I remember years ago talking with someone, and we're training, and he was saying, like, with martial arts more common nowadays, you know, if you get into an altercation on the streets, you know, there is a good chance that person's going to know how to throw a punch. But, you know, also knowing how to deal with yourself on the ground is going to help out, because, you know, now it's popular, right? Like everywhere, a lot of people are training jiu-jitsu. It seems to be the you know, but back then it was, you know, it was just growing. So, but a lot of stand styles were still around. Like I think it was Muay Thai was really big back then. Because UFC was just starting to make it big, and there was all those head kicks going around, and everyone's like, "Oh, head kicks! Let's go learn some Thai kickboxing." Yeah,
exactly.
So it was like, you know, if you get in an altercation, problem is, you know, he probably going to know how to defend himself and throw some punches. So it's best to know stand as well as ground.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm teaching now every Wednesday here, 30 to 45 minutes. The beginning of class is self-defense only.
Okay.
So I'm teaching just so we have a class 6, so 6 to 6:30, 6:45. I'm teaching now self-defense, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu self-defense only. Nice. So standing. So if the guy has a lock, headlock, or bear, hug, or whatever, lots of positions. So I have a curriculum that I prepared and I built, so that the guys need to follow in the training. So you have these every Wednesday now to train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu self-defense too.
Well, that's good. I for one, I like to see at least some portion of teaching being self-defense oriented, even if it's like a competition focused class. There's still, like, you know, when you're in competitions, you're starting standing on the ground, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a lot of those self-defense techniques that still work like over for takedowns.
Yeah, that's why you have here every Thursday. at beginners class, stand up, judo class.
Oh, yeah.
You have judo here with our master Earring. He's a 4 dan judo black belt. So he every Thursday, 7 to 8, you have your takedowns.
Did you ever do some judo classes back in Brazil?
Yeah, I did some.
Because I've heard, there was a bit of a rift between the judo schools and the jiu-jitsu schools.
It's good. It's good to know because you learn a lot of base and takedowns, yeah. And that you said in competition you start to fight standing. Yeah. So it's good to know how you can defend it from attacks, judo attacks, right? Position. Then at the same time you know how can attack some takedowns and use it for start to because you have a good advantage when you take the guy down, and you can be inside control, you can be in good position when you apply a good position, a judo position, right? So it's good to learn for sure.
Yeah. So all those years in Brazil training, and then you moved to Calgary. Like, how did you end up in Calgary?
Because a Brazilian friend that moved to Calgary and invited us to come here. And my wife was scared about the violence in Brazil and too much violence and too much corruption in Brazil. Yeah. And she decided let's go to Canada to try a new life and see if you can get a better life. And you had the friends that invited us to start here, to help us to find a place to live, to start a new life. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
God bless us a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because I wouldn't pick Calgary as the first spot coming from Brazil, right?
Yeah, we are looking for Vancouver. Yeah. Vancouver, but that's why this friend came to Calgary, and he have some families here. Yeah. You decide to come to Calgary because of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Calgary is not a bad place. I'm just saying, it's cold. But the jiu-jitsu scene here is really big. I didn't realize there's a lot of clubs and a lot of students in those schools that I've seen, and
it's growing.
Yeah, that's great to see.
Yeah, the BJJ community is growing. That's good.
Yeah. Thanks for this. I look forward in the future to seeing, a bigger, badder, new Lizard Jiu-Jitsu club.
Thank you.
Always growing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks again for having me and for doing this interview.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you.
Thank you. Os.
Until next time, see you on the mats. Os.